So I have the Ridgid R4512 table saw from Home Depot, and this is a great starter table saw. It's a great entry level price point at $5.99. It's got a cast iron midsection. It's got two stamped wings, steel wings when you buy it. Plus it has a cutout for a router table, which is great. What I've decided to do was see what I could do to make this saw even better. And I came across first a video by Dema's workshop, and he added a workbench sort of like this one here to his Ridgid R4512. So I decided to take that same idea, put my little spin on it, and if you would like to make one for your table saw, follow along.
To begin the project, we take 2x4s from Home Depot and cut them down to 28.5 inches. The opening on the table saw is actually 27 inches, but right now let's oversize the lumber and we can trim it to the exact dimensions once we get to a final. Time to begin the lamination process of the 2x4s. What I do is I set up the 2x4s and I go through and make sure the nice edges are facing up. These are the edges that I'm going to see. Then I make your traditional carpenter's mark so I know the alignment of the edges when I put them back together. You spread a liberal amount of glue on the surface, and I just took a piece of wood here to spread it, make sure I got coverage on every piece of wood possible. This big as this workbench top, I'd like to use the Vise bar clamps and the Vise K-body clamps. They seem to allow you to have the ability to get the most pressure to ensure that the lamination sticks. Once we get the workbench top flat, we're going to go ahead and we're going to trim it to its final dimension of 27 inches. Now the 27 inches is for the Ridgid R4512 table saw. Your table saw may be different. Sliding compound miter. Quick pass or around over a bit on the front and back edge of the workbench seems to give it a nice look. Don't do the sides of the workbench. That'll just cause a little valley that dust and everything will get stuck in. Continuing on the router table, we're going to use a 1 1/4 inch bit to create some recesses that some aluminum bar is going to actually go into for the mounting hardware, and you'll see how this comes into play later on in the video. And with the workbench in place, I just simply use a pencil to transfer the mounting holes onto the workbench. I begin drilling out the mounting holes that the 1/4-inch bolts will actually go into. What I'm going to do is just add some T-nuts here, and that's what the bolts are going to use for their threading. Now if you can see, I've added aluminum bar to that recess that we routed into the edge of the workbench. The reason why we do that is the T-nuts are going to actually want to try and pull themselves out as you tighten the 1/4-inch bolts down on the workbench. So this aluminum bar right here is just secured to keep those T-nuts from wanting to or being able to back out. Now this part of the video really has nothing to do with the actual build itself. It's just I left this in to show how people make easy mistakes. I haven't yet realized that this is the top of the workbench and I don't want to be boring a hole into it. I'll notice in a second, you'll see.
Ah, shit!
And there we have it. Now for the front of this workbench, this table saw actually has a T-track in the fence rail. So I've sent the bolts through there. I created this little recess with a Forstner bit and some chisels, and this will allow me to access the nuts and tighten them up for the front bolts that come through the T-track. Now mounting the workbench is very straightforward. In the front we slide the bolts into the T-track on the fence system rail, and in the back we wait until we get everything lined up, and then we'll send 1/4-inch bolts straight through the back fence rail and into the T-nuts that are recessed into the workbench. So holding the vise temporarily in place with 2 screws, the vise here, then can drill for the lag bolts and send the lag bolts home with an impact driver. Using some cherry wood, we're going to trace out for the cheeks here of the vise. And we just trace around the jaw, and that will give us where we're going to actually need to remove some material so that this sits recessed onto the vise. These cheeks are going to be there to make sure that, you know, there's no marring of our project by the metal jaws of the vise. And now just using some threaded screws, we secure the cheek to the vise jaw. And I just grab a palm sander just to clean up the wood and break those sharp edges. And with the second cheek ready, I just go ahead and clamp the second cheek in the jaws of the vise. Make sure I got the right length of screw so it doesn't go through into the other cheek, and just secure them using the 4 holes provided in the jaw of the vise. With that, guys, this build is complete. I hope you enjoyed this video and it also inspired you to start building. As always, please subscribe to the channel or share this video with a friend. And if you liked the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next build.